Changes to your budget in retirement. So your spending patterns are probably going to change quite a bit as you get closer to retirement. One of the first things that studies show kind of fall back is changes to work-related expenses. Now this is transportation costs. Just think about all the money and time you spend driving to and from work every single day. You're still going to drive in retirement, but probably not quite as much. Secondly, if you're anything like me, you eat out quite a bit during the day when it comes to the work week, and that's quite a bit of an expense. So cooking at home a bit more shows that there's significantly cost savings to that, and probably health savings too. But you're probably going to be spending less on food when you get into retirement from just cooking at home and eating out less. Also, another work-related item is maybe buying clothes for work. There's a lot of suits and stuff that I have to buy for work. Trust me, I'm actually doing this on a Saturday, believe it or not. But normally on the weekends, I'm not wearing stuff like this. So if I didn't have to go to work, I'm just chilling out at home, doing whatever. So I'm certainly not wearing these suits and stuff at home. So would save some money on some of those items. So if you're anything like me, you'll save money on work-related clothing expenses. And fourth, even though retirement contributions aren't necessarily an expense, they're certainly an outflow. So you're spending a lot of money, or you're allocating a lot of your money to retirement. There's some folks I talk to that put 20% of their income into their 401k every single year. Yeah, that's quite a bit. So you may think you're making $150,000 a year, but when you're putting $30,000 of it into a 401k every year, then you're not making anywhere near that as far as your take-home pay. So you won't have to worry about your contribution as much, and that's something that you'll want to change your budget, just because that could end up helping you quite a bit and having some of that money back. So you're going to be spending less due to work-related items. The second thing that's going to probably cause some changes in your retirement budget are related to housing. So you may downsize. A lot of people downsize when the family moves out, when the kids move out, and hopefully have an empty nest. You may downsize. Secondly, even if you don't downsize, a lot of people are paying off their mortgage either right at retirement or just a few years following retirement. So that's a big thing that's coming off the plate. Housing costs are still considered one of the largest expenses in retirement, even with the mortgage paid off. And that's just from maintenance, insurance, taxes, and all the other things that go into owning a home. Finally, you may end up moving. In the text I described multiple clients and stories that I've had where people lose a spouse and end up moving to a different location that may be a higher cost of living in those locations. So that's something to consider as far as a plan B option if you have to move to a different city. Is it going to be much more expensive? Is that going to change the trajectory of my plan? If it is, it should be a consideration when you're going through the retirement planning process and looking at potential changes to your budget. Finally, you may travel a little bit more, and healthcare costs are going to be a biggie, which I'm going to get to in the next section on retirement needs. So I look forward to sharing more with you in that next section.